I want to echo President Macron's comments welcoming the safe rescue of 4 hostages that were returned to their families in Israel. We won't stop working until all the hostages come home and a ceasefire is reached. That is essential to happen.
There are no U.S. service members in Gaza. There is a small U.S. military component on the pier itself.
Today happens to be one of the saddest day in the last 8 months since Israeli terrorists launched a brutal genocidal attack on Gaza. As I speak, more than 210 people with many children have been brutally massacred by Israeli terrorists. Brutally massacred. Why? Because the Israeli terrorists, they were engaged in rescuing 4 of their citizens who were taken captive by Hamas fighters on 7th of October. So they managed to rescue 4 of their citizens, but in the process have killed more than 210 people and counting. There are reports, and those reports are not from independent sources. Those reports are from the likes of the BBC and Al Jazeera and CNN, that the lone hospital, Al-Aqsa Hospital in central Gaza, is overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed. I mean, those visuals that I have seen on social media, I can't even show you here, because the moment I show those videos, the YouTube will just go mad and restrict my reach. YouTube just need excuses, and I don't want to give them any more excuses. Those are the videos that for you to watch, you can just go on Twitter and you can see those videos. They are in abundance. They are very unsettling, by the way. So I'm warning you right now. Those are very, very unsettling videos. And that has happened today. And that has happened when Israelis and their partners, particularly America, want you to believe that they are very keen to have the ceasefire. And they are very keen for Hamas to accept the ceasefire offer. Ceasefire, on one hand, they talk about so-called ceasefire offer. On the other hand, they massacre 210 people, and that is the conservative figure. And as I speak, there are also people on social media with considerably large followers indicating that there could have been the involvement of American soldiers as well. One particular Twitter handle has said that the pier that America recently built, the Syrian girl, which also has significantly large followers. Now, these are the allegations that need clarification and responses from the Americans. All we heard from Americans was a statement from Joe Biden and French President Emmanuel Macron.
In Gaza, we want to obtain the immediate liberation of hostages, and we can only welcome the liberation of 4 hostages by the Israeli army. We want to achieve an immediate ceasefire and open up the prospect of a political solution, which is the only one that can bring about a fair and lasting peace and meet the security concerns of both people. And that is why we are supporting the comprehensive proposal of the United States of America. After 9 months of conflict, the situation in Rafah and the human consequences are unacceptable. It is not acceptable that Israel should not open all checkpoints to humanitarian aid as requested by the international community for months. Israeli operations should stop there, and the United Nations Security Council has a role to play. But of course, jointly, we will double down to avoid a regional escalation, in particular in Lebanon, where we are working on de-escalation on the blue line and on the institutional aspect. And both countries are working with both, and indeed all stakeholders, to ensure that all parties come back to their senses.
I want to echo President Macron's comments welcoming the safe rescue of 4 hostages that were returned to their families in Israel. We won't stop working until all the hostages come home and a ceasefire is reached. That is essential to happen.
In fact, if you look at the statement of Joe Biden, his statement, his reaction appears to be somewhat muted. He isn't very excited. He expresses his sentiments literally in one or two sentences. That's it. Which is very unusual, very unlike for an American president. Because when it comes to expressing their joy for Israel, we know that Joe Biden is capable of just, speaking for hours. So I wonder why he limited his reaction to just one or two sentences. There have always been question mark on the building of a pier off the Gaza coast. It has always drawn criticism. People have questioned as to why you would spend more than $300 million on a pier which is not even permanent, it's temporary. And that pier just stopped working. Within days of its creation, it stopped working. And if you remember the day John Kirby, he was like literally, being dramatic, announcing that how, the trucks have left, from the coast of Cyprus of his own volition. He was quick to clarify, not just one, on several occasions that, look, there won't be any ground presence of American troops. Why? Why would you say that?
So, as I said in my opening statement, there are no U.S. service members in Gaza. There is a small U.S. military component on the pier itself. And they're there really to do sort of two things. One is to provide a modicum of security for it, but also to assist with the logistics. So this is a humanitarian effort. And contrary to what we've been seeing out there in the information space, particularly in the region, it is designed solely, only, for the delivery of humanitarian assistance. There's no other purpose for this than humanitarian assistance.
Why would you say that? Guilty conscience? So the reason I am referring to his statement made on that day, and there is a video evidence, is because now today a lot of murmurs, a lot of conversations are happening on social media about the alleged presence of American soldiers in central Gaza when this massacre took place. I know the world leaders have reacted, and including the United Nations Secretary General, but this is a very, very sad day. Very sad day. More than 200 people killed. And we don't even know the true number. I mean, this number could go significantly higher. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.